Hello, friends. My name is Sergeant Host Eric. I am Sergeant here at the Type Police Station on duty, and this is another exciting episode of the Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type Police, Type Police, please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police. So today we've got Mike Hart. He's purporting to be an INTP.
First of all, I don't know where she's been. I don't know that girl. That's the first thing on my mind about a stripper is I don't know where she's been.
That response is consistent with INTP. And I don't just mean not consistent with ISTP. I mean consistent with INTP, specifically because it's an SI thing. Hi, come in.
I find sexual promiscuity a turnoff. Is if I have feelings for someone, which as an INTP, what that means is I've come to the logical conclusion based on evidence that I have feelings for someone.
The thing to note here is that an INTP or an ENTP is quite fussy about other people's SI. Like, I don't like things to be gross. I don't like things to be smelly. I don't like that to be applied to people as well. I like to know that something's clean. I may not be clean myself. I may be smelly myself, but I'm fussy about other people being that way, which is, I think, consistent with both SI third, where it's very selfish, and also applies to SI fourth.
She's the last thing I thought about before going to bed. Therefore, I have feelings for her. Anyway, so that's an exaggeration. But anyway, not that much though. But
double correction. Let's get
yeah,
TI.
if I have feelings for someone, it's like almost impossible for me to be attracted to other girls. And this is another thing most people do not relate with me on at all. I don't know what it is. In school, they ask me my opinion on something like, "What'd you think of that movie?" I just be like, "I liked it. It was cool," or "It wasn't cool." What else is there to say? I don't know. Is that weird? I mean, on certain subjects, if I know a lot about it and I'm passionate about it, then obviously I have a lot to say. But like I said, I think most things I just don't care that much. At least trivial things I find trivial and I don't know, boring.
The challenging reality of his last words on the matter, which were essentially a rejection of ideation. And what else is there to say about it? It's good. It's not. That seemed a lot more ISTP. I think he gave me a lot of TI vibe. Not that that's sufficient to type in, but I would say there is a lot of TI vibe out of him. I'm not.
That's what I
need to watch another video. That I would also say this: the fact that he's out walking around doesn't mean anything either. I think that's something that's rather like an INTP to do on some occasions. So, what's the number one personality trait to avoid in a partner? Illogical. Unfair.
You see, a lot of people nowadays really glorifying the whole not giving a shit what other people think mentality. And it's natural for humans to admire that because it is healthy to an extent, but it can be taken too far. And I find people, especially nowadays just take it too far, take it to the extreme. You overdo it, then you're a narcissist, and then you're also exhibiting the worst personality trait for a relationship. Because the key to successful relationships is communication. And refusing to see your own flaws or work on yourself is not only stupid because it's illogical, because there's no such thing as a person with no weaknesses or flaws or ways they can improve a relationship, but it's also a lack of communication by very nature of it. You're refusing to acknowledge problems. That is a refusal to communicate.
Okay, well, all of that sounds definitely consistent with INTP, and probably consistent with ISTP as well. So I'm not sure I can use that to distinguish between it.
All right, so let's
I
try one
agree.
more.
He seems. I like him. If people are saying here like he's great, I like him. I like him too. Just to get that off the mat here. I like him too. I'm not really getting ISTJ vibes from him. I mean, I do agree that there's a sensory quality about him that is making me get censored at the moment, but I can see why one might conclude INTP still too. So
Yeah.
let's watch some more. This may take some time to parse out.
Which the main thing was just that refusal to communicate, refusal to address issues. It's really a relationship killer. If you completely refuse to see your own faults and ways you can improve, everyone can improve in relationships. So you're basically a liar if you say you don't need to improve in it anyway. So anyway,
Definitely heavy TI, Rachel said. I agreed.
not saying I'm perfect. Obviously, like I said, everyone has ways they can improve. This is one area I don't really have a problem. I'm pretty open to seeing my own flaws. In fact, sometimes I focus too much on them, and will try too hard to work on myself, while my partner isn't working on themselves at all. I'm doing everything. I'm trying to fix everything basically. They're refusing to see there's a problem. So that's one area I don't really have an issue.
I mean, here's the thing. I believe him when he says that. That's the thing. And here's why I believe when he says that. Is because he FE wraps it a little bit, and he indicates that it's not something that you should take seriously because he can only really support it with his own experiential reporting. It seems implicit in what he's saying. Okay. Well, this should be interesting. Which system of typology is best? This should tell us a lot about what is type, actually. If he's going to sort of articulate the different frames of reference upon which to determine this, go INTP. And if he doesn't really interpret the frames of reference by which to interpret this, but just go straight into interpreting it, then more likely to go ISTP. I don't think there's going to be enough evidence to throw him in the slammer regardless. INTP doesn't seem out of the question. No, he says he's INTP.
Which one do I worship? The answer, guys, is zero. Nada. What other languages can I say? Zero. I think you get the point. So, Bruce Lee had this philosophy. Stick to one martial art. Why can't we learn other ones? You boxers, why don't you learn how to grapple? You grapplers, why don't you learn how to strike? You know, you take the strengths from each one, and then you throw out the crap. And that's what he did. He created Jeet Kune Do. That's what he did, guys. You know, that's kind of like my philosophy. People have heard me say, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Why do you have to worship any one system? Why you gotta say, oh, ours is better than yours. Let's make this a religion. Let's make some kind of war out of this, where we feud about who's better.
He's doing a TINE thing with TE frame that he's trying to put on top of it. Okay, so he already said what his real thing is. I will take the parts that are best from each one and reject the rest. So what's the implicit, what's underneath that point? That I can tell better than the makers of all those systems which parts of their systems are correct and which parts of their systems are bad. So to me, that smacks of NTP.
Me too.
So what he's basically saying is he's the gauge of all knowing, and nobody else who's making typology systems is going to be adequately able to put it all together. He can, though. Okay, he's not saying that there's no one system that's right because they're all equally good. He's saying there's no one system that's right because nobody's smart enough like him to actually just pick out all the correct things. It's the implicit, arrogant, I'm the gauge of all knowing thing that NTPs do. You know what I'm saying? I do it all the time. I
Measure each other's junk, whatever you want to do. I think maybe that's why you don't see a lot of INTP YouTube channels on MBTI, because it's just irritating, and it irritates me. It's one of the reasons why I kind of get burned out on posting videos and stuff here and there, and burned out on typology in general because of that. Because people are just so stupid about it, just like they're stupid with everything. Like this system, you gotta study Beebe, or you gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's all socionics. It's all this. It's all C.S. Joseph. By the way, if you say that in standing in my house, get the hell out of my house. Anyway, or not nearly as good. There's certain typological systems, whatever you call them, personality theory systems that are not good, and there's certain ones that are much better. Like, so yeah, I take what makes sense. I take what makes sense out of any of them, and then I discard the trash. And yes, I think there's trash in every system. So I don't understand people.
I take what makes sense out of, and keep it, and discard the rest out of. And I think there's stuff that makes sense in all of them. Well, what's the implicit arrogance underneath that? That nobody else has already been able to do this and assemble it into a single correct system. Because that's, of course, what my explanation is, right? I say, well, what I did is I took the best out of all the systems and compiled it into one complete thing that works. That's correct. In other words, I fixed the wrongness of it. He is positioning himself as somebody who's not going to bother to fix the wrongness of it. He'll just use the tools he needs because he has fundamentally what? Ignoring TE absolute value frame. Mine's ignoring NI frame. So naturally, my position is I fixed it. Here's the NI truth. His position is these things are all just useful ideas, and I'm able to pick out the correct ones and discard the wrong ones. INTP confirmed. Sir, you are not only not going to type jail, but you're getting a sticker for your car saying, don't bother pulling this guy over. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Try as you might, you just can't type, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, type police. Please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or type police. See you next time in another exciting episode of Type
Late.
Police.